Shots fired at JGR. Kyle Busch is at it again, from dealing with immense pressure to win every single week to feeling relieved at the lowered expectations after switching to a new team. Busch is spilling scalding hot tea. We will disclose all the details on Rowdy's less than flattering thoughts on his former team. Find out what he says winning feels like now at Richard Childress Racing. Hit that subscribe button and get ready for the inside scoop on the Kyle Busch latest interview on one of NASCAR's top teams. Rowdy has been one of the top drivers in the sport over the past 2 decades. He's won pretty much everything there is to win, except for that elusive Daytona 500 victory. Kyle Busch has driven for powerhouse teams like Hendrick Motorsports, but he spent the bulk of his career so far with Joe Gibbs Racing. JGR has been one of the dominant forces in NASCAR's top series since way back in the early 2000s. It has been an absolute elite team that has pumped out multiple championships. Their roster of drivers over the years, legends like Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart, and of course Kyle Busch. There's no question that when Rowdy eventually retires, he'll go down as a JGR icon. Despite all his wins and success with Joe Gibbs Racing, it seems like Kyle Busch doesn't have the fondest memories of his time there. He made that abundantly clear in a bombshell interview with former rival turned media personality Kevin Harvick. The immense pressure that comes with driving for an elite team like JGR. Kyle Busch said, "There was probably more pressure put on myself from the fact of, okay, I'm at JGR, one of the top tier teams of our sport, arguably the best, so there's that pressure to go out and win and do well and execute and do everything that you need to do." Can you imagine that kind of pressure day in and day out? Having to go out there every race and deliver nothing short of total domination and victory? For 99% of drivers, that would simply be too much to handle. But Kyle Busch is a rare talent capable of rising to the challenge. Still, he admitted that the hefty expectations started to take their toll, saying, "When you don't do those things or you do finish second, it's like you're giving away missed opportunities of scoring wins because you should win." At JGR, finishing second is viewed as a disappointment and a missed opportunity. That's the kind of cutthroat environment Kyle Busch was dealing with for over a decade. I don't know about you, but I'd probably crack under pressure like that. Kyle Busch explained that the vibe is totally different there compared to the high-stakes environment at JGR. He said, "I feel like we're not really expected to be the dominant force in the series, and so on those days where I run 6th or I run 2nd, it's a little bit more acceptable." At RCR, Kyle Busch feels way less pressure if he *gasp finishes outside the top spot. At JGR, anything short of first place felt like an utter failure, so it's no wonder Rowdy is breathing a sigh of relief at his new team. In fact, he says winning feels even more special at RCR precisely because the expectations are lowered. Kyle Busch said, "Taking those wins when they come is more special. Fontana, for instance, I was like, damn man, we just beat all of these guys in my second race out. We're gonna win 10 times this year." This is new, less stressed out, and more optimistic Kyle Busch. No shade at Richard Childress Racing, they are not on the same level as the juggernaut that is JGR, yet despite being at a team with less resources and power, Kyle Busch feels way more satisfied there than he ever did at Gibbs. These comments aren't going over so well with the folks at Joe Gibbs Racing. Rowdy basically admitted he feels like RCR isn't a top-tier team like his old squad, and all his talk about hating the immense pressure to win every race at JGR makes it seem like he really didn't enjoy his time there. But at the end of the day, I can't say I blame Kyle Busch for seeking greener pastures. He gave JGR over a decade of his career, through all the highs and lows. He brought them championships and countless wins, so he's earned the right to spend the twilight years of his racing career at a less demanding team. For a guy who's pretty much accomplished it all in NASCAR, it makes total sense that Kyle Busch would want an environment with less pressure to dominate week in and week out. He's got nothing left to prove at this stage, so why not enjoy racing again at a team like RCR? His results don't seem to be suffering one bit with the move. Don't forget, Kyle Busch won just his second race with RCR back at Fontana. So clearly, even if they aren't a Gibbs-level juggernaut, RCR still provides Kyle Busch with race-winning cars. Just imagine how many more checkered flags he'll collect without that JGR pressure weighing him down every race. I think this switch is the best for the latter stage of Kyle Busch's legendary career. He's finally able to enjoy racing again without the burden of insane expectations, and as a Kyle Busch fan, I say more power to him. JGR's loss is RCR's gain. What you all think? Was Kyle Busch out of line with his comments about Joe Gibbs racing, or do you agree that the pressure there was just too insane for any driver to deal with long term? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.